General lines cannot up with holes. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of the fallacies of the general system. It's just better than the Marshall, which is just even worse. Scobby and Chuckdown and Puff Dip, thank you all for the follows. I very much appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, all of you. Risky, it's uptime. Fighter focus. Can you guys please do the focuses to declare war on each other? Especially you. Invade the Syndicalists. There we go. Ready. They heard my pleas. Actually, how am I doing for equipment? I have more than enough mechanized to switch over a bunch of the motorized, which would actually require retraining. I also have loads of rocket artillery, which I don't necessarily need. Alright, let's do some of that work right now. So we want you to be mechanized, we want you to be mechanized, we want you to be removed, we want you to be removed. So we're still at 19. Slightly short, but that's fine. Save. Ready to move. Could the USA potentially attack Canada to reclaim New England? Possibly, I'm not sure. Today, police and members of the VDC successfully shot and killed Stanley Graham, who, to this day, perpetrated one of the worst mass killings in Australasian history. Before Graham could be stopped, he took the lives of 14 across the 3 weeks he'd been running. While the specifics are not known as to why Mr. Graham began his spree, police reports show he had a history of threats and assaults. Following the shootings, the Graham household was burned down. The government shifted his wife and children across the country. Plans are in the making to build a memorial to the former site of Mr. Graham's house as a tribute to those who died. If Canada doesn't give back, New England war will probably happen. USA focus to reclaim. I would assume they do. Like, post-Civil War, the focus trees are fairly similar. Here we go. They have to actually own New England for that one. Oh, here we go. Monroe Doctrine, reclaiming America. West Coast, reclaim New England. Yep, they do. Ready. Really, none of you required retraining? I guess mechanized and motorized use the same skills. It's just driving. Alright, all of you are done. 41, of course, new tanks are available, dumbass. Those are all 42s. Haven't actually used maintenance in the end, so I don't need those. 41. Could do better Marines. Also, actually, amphibious landings. They are a 41. As in fact, light cruiser 3s. Let's get that first, so I can actually start producing those. Alright, so no retraining was required. That's actually pretty nice. I actually quite like this template. I mean, slowly transitioning the motorized away to mechanized. But I'm quite liking that. It'll make more sense when I go up to 40 unit size rather than just 19. Rubber processing, upgrade naval. Cool. So we can continue improved oil. And the next naval one is going to be the establish the Naval Academy. It is not enough to simply have the ships in our fleet. We must train our captains and admirals in the newest methods of naval warfare to make sure that each one of our vessels is worth 3 of the enemy's. Come on. How long? 41 days. Well, my general is very confident of the assault on Nepal here. Basing the aircraft in the Nepalese airbase as we're doing so. Because of course. And we do actually have a surplus of fighters, so we could probably increase the size of your wing to a 300. What about bombers? We're still actually short on bombers. Yemen is justifying against someone in our alliance. Probably Muscat. Claimed 04, yep. Found the Australian start was a whole lot of hurry up and wait. Ooh! Japan and the Soviets are at war. That means the Soviets are going to be seriously distracted by the Japanese. The Japanese, who by the way own most of China. Mongolia is their puppet. Right, there are still serious wars that can happen here. Germany and the Soviets could go to war. Japan and Germany could go to war. We and anyone could go to war. The main thing is that the syndicalists are pretty much dead, but if the Soviets do well against Japan, then use those resources to take on Germany. You never know. And now if Yemen were to join the Germans, or somebody like that, Social Conservatives, I'm not sure who they would join. Most likely would actually be us. That's a whole bunch of forest. I mean, this is the most tanky ground here. So that's all forest, so that would be difficult to break through. Yeah, I think I would need to blitz down along the river and get to Kolkata that way. Time for us to move. Right, cancel that. Move armies to there. Blitz across to there. And once we've achieved that, to there. And I do not want you going across the river. Perfect. Macafus, thank you very much for the follow. Backhand blow. And here we are, modern Blitzkrieg, the last of the doctrine. Oh, you guys are not being quite so rapid. Let's strategic redeploy you, shall we? This war is about to break out. And all of you have just arrived with no sodding organization, because of course you have. Because the AI is dumb. I think we probably want operational integrity. Although it's January 42. Hold up. Advanced computing machines. Go. Come on. Nobody wants to attack anybody. They're letting me get my organization back, which is silly. Probably because they're only just designing their own attacks. Go. No? You don't want to? Guys, there are like no people here defending. Oh, right. I need to be called in. I am an idiot. Right, now we're in. There we go. Right, so they have got 60 divisions versus 37, but Baratia is also at war with the Princely Federation, who have themselves got about 60. And the thing that Baratia doesn't have? Australasia. Today, the nation is celebrating the Confederation of Australasia, and while the Confederation was not voluntary, having been initially formed by the British invocation of the Conservation of Resources Act in 1924, it still brought many benefits to Australia and New Zealand. And we have established the Naval Academy. Great. Let's overhaul the Royal Australasian Navy then. And get rid of the oversized navy. Our efforts have paid off, and now the RAN has the skill and capacity to properly manage the Pacific Fleet without any aid from the British. Australasia is now a contender for naval supremacy in the region. Ratio are calling people in, but that's fine. Alright, how about we get 2 of you to attack them to stop them reinforcing, eh? Would that be wise? I think that would be wise. Although, watch how quickly they lose preparation bonus compared to them. This is one change that I really dislike. Like, this completely negates any human interaction. I think it's something like a 300% modifier to planning preparation when you give manual orders. Just look how fast that's going down in comparison. So, not only does it force you to use the front lines, or rather, not only are the front lines completely broken, it forces you to use them. That's what I was trying to say. Right, all of you should now be assigned to there. Off you go! Keep going. Now India, I would absolutely love if you would defend Patna too. Because there's no way in hell that they are doing it. Yeah, see? Like that.
Yes, sir.
Alright, how about we don't use a spearhead and we use a regular attack instead?
Ready to move.
See, why are we attacking over here now? No! Terrible idea. Don't do that.
Orders.
And again, stop that.
Move out.
Now, however, I want you to do that. Stop them moving back.
Move out.
Otherwise he'll cut off my front line, which would be double plus on good.
Taking aim. Keep moving.
Don't go that way, go that way. Except for you, you go that way. Right, you can stop going that way. Alright, so some Indian reinforcements are coming in, so I can shorten the lines. Oil processing is done. So let's grab rubber processing. How's the construction coming along? Alright, we're getting quite a lot of construction done, which is nice. Why are you attacking there? Don't do that. Canada did have a navy. It was France who didn't have the navy. Canada still has a navy. 59 ships. I might well have more. 50. We are super close. And I'm still building light cruisers, so our navy should expand relatively quickly. Speaking of which, still surplus in tungsten. I think we can probably stop importing you. Steel we still need to do. Oil and rubber we still need. Actually, I can probably cut down the amount of rubber. Sorry guys, but I'm becoming more and more autonomous in those terms.
Attention.
Right, India's arrived up there. So now we can say, don't guard that. And you, stop attacking over there. Are you seriously not guarding that spot? Are you morons? You really have to babysit the AI in this. Like, kudos to the AI for cutting that off, but stupid friendly AI. Do I go for achievements in vanilla? No. Not my thing. They're just filtering more and more troops in. Although, actually, I see a weakness here. Although, once we take Calcutta, I can just ship reinforcements in over that way. You know what? Screw this. We're going to launch our own invasion from Calcutta. This still counts as a war on two fronts.
Orders. Yes, sir.
As long as I actually win. I may have just lost my entire army here. Possibly. Oh no, we have a line through there. Good. Go, go, go! You can do this, I believe in you. Resignation of Stanley Bruce. After 23 years of politics and controversy, Prime Minister Stanley Bruce has decided to step down as leader of the United Australasia Party. This has thrown his party into considerable chaos, with several declaring his decision untimely. An immediate struggle has begun to find his replacement. So Robert Menzies can come in. So we lose the civilian construction speed and the factory construction speed. What? Oh, effective change. That's the one I need to look at. So Menzies would give more war support, more stability, more daily political power gain, but loses construction speed. Lots of construction speed. Or Sidney G. Holland, who loses the construction speed, loses stability, but gains a tiny bit of power. Also, what group are you? Sidney Holland becomes the first New Zealander to lead the party. I would have to go with the war support and stability with Menzies. We're winning slowly, and I'm watching reinforcements from either side. Cut us off again. Trying to do a counterattack. He's about to fall though. Come on guys, we can do this. Except for the fact that we can't actually get in there because we're being attacked from these two fronts, although you're about to move. And we're in. Calcutta's mine. Alright, so I think my next objective is going to be to try and secure this. But I'm quite happy to try and build up some planning preparation before we do so. We have a port though, so we can get supplies.
Move out.
I'm surprised you've still not leveled up at all. Oops. Oh, you're about to though.
Listen up.
So I'm just going to wait until they get some more planning preparation, and then we will push out again. And this time we can hit the communists from behind. Sorry, Baratia from behind. Hopefully get this cutoff going again. And then we'll probably try and maintain the cutoff this time. Taking Calcutta is a big deal though. It has a lot of factories. Which the Dominion now has.
Move out.
Meanwhile, are there any other upgrades I could push through? Yes, I could definitely add some more medium tanks. think it might well be time to do so. So we're going over the combat width now. I'm going to start building up to the 40 combat width. So we'll wait until they get the additional resources. That should actually provide an awful lot more breakthrough. Alright, 1942 federal election. As per the Constitution of the Australasian Confederation, elections are to be held once every 3 years. Thus crowds have arrived at the polls throughout the country. I think we are going to continue with the UAP to get even more social conservative strength. We now have an 86% party popularity. That means we are at very high, which also means we're going to be gaining a ton of political power. So if I don't like any of these people, I can switch them out. Though actually, they're not terrible.
Yes, sir.
Is that a planning speed bonus for just him, or is that for his generals too, though? Because on mobile warfare, like, this goes up fast enough anyway.
Listen up. Ready.
Change this. I'm going to try and get the actual cutoff, I think. I'm going to push for that.
Yes, sir.
Very high party popularity. Darn right it is. Oh, you can do a staff office plan on just him. Bit late now, but cool. Didn't realise that. How am I doing for other resources? It's the mechanized that I need the most, so I think I might try and boost the amount of mechanized I'm producing. I'm going to reduce the number of tanks and increase the mechanized. Also aircraft can go down, because I think we are probably kicking ass and taking names in the skies. Although I thought I had you set to be a 300, didn't I? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Regardless, there are enough planes. Okay, here's their attack, so my counter-attack is going to kick off as soon as their attack is finished.
Listen up.
Which can be whenever you are ready. I.e. whenever you're ready, probably. There is a bit of a shortage of supplies here. Unfortunately, it is not possible to build stuff in Allied territory, although having spoken to Podcat, he wants to make it so you can. That was one of the things I was like, yeah, we really should enable that. I was going to say, let's start attacking that province right there, and then they did. Overhaul the RAN. So we can upgrade the reserves or scrap the reserves. So if we scrap them, we lose, well, we gain 100 political power. Or dockyard output goes down by 75% for 180 days. Navy for our defense. Naval range goes down. Naval speed goes up. Screen defense goes up. Capital ship armor goes up. Submarine defense goes up. Screw submarines. Screw destroyers. We're going to upgrade the reserves. Almost half of the larger ships of the Pacific Fleet were mothballed after the Weltkrieg ended, so we simply did not have the sailors to man them. While the ships are old, they are still serviceable, and with a concerted effort, they could be brought back into service and make our fleet more powerful than it is. Go on then. Let's give it a go. They're really putting some troops in that position. Siam declared war on Burma. Siam's in Japan's alliance. Yeah, they are. Interesting. I was going to say, if this is a cut-off, I'll be very upset, but it's not. There's actually a connection there. We're not exactly putting a lot of pressure on people, though. And we're attacking the wrong direction. We're going this way for some reason. How's the new Kaiserreich update? It's alright. It's not as good as previous updates they've done. Right, you need to stop. We need to go and reinforce him.
Let's go.
Okay, good. And there it is, new tanks. Unfortunately, I don't really have the experience to upgrade them straight away to a new variant. But I don't think that will matter very much. How is air superiority here? Fought over. Also, I have almost lost all of my tactical bombers. So I think I will need to build some more. Let's get that going. And with that done, I would like both forts. They did take that spot, as I thought they... Why are you going this way? Why? Actually, I see an opportunity. Go grab that. Go grab that. But still, why? Silly. This is actually reducing our line, because we are not at war with the Princely Federation.
Ready, sir. Come on.
Both of you doing this.
Ready, sir. Taking aim.
Oh, actually. You're doing a successful push through there.
Sir.
Colour me intrigued.
Yes, sir.
I'm confused, my sub to you seems to have vanished. I think you might need to manually update those, I don't know for sure. Like, I did notice my sub to Quill vanished once before, I really ought to double check that. I think it's because you have to be on, it'll ask you, or you have to resub. I don't know how it works. Oh, you want to see the division template? Sorry. I mean, I'm still in the process of upgrading it, but that's what it is at the moment. So it's 1 motorized rocket, 3 mechanized, 4 tanks, 3 motorized. I'm slowly transitioning the the motorized into mechanized. I'm adding more tanks. In fact, I should probably be leaving these as is and then just adding more mechanized right now, because I want to try and get the combat width up to 40.
Listen up.
23 is not exactly conducive. And there we go, we've got the cutoff. It's done. I'm going to be relying
Come on.
on India to hold that line.
Keep on attacking.
I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to say that your objective is now going to be to take this. Let's not do it from such a silly location, let's do it from there.
All in.
Planning preparations are actually terrible.
Listen up.
Let's stop making fronts against people we're not at war with. Modify government. Yeah, you know what? We should probably make better guns.